All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back, everyone. This is the X Zone. I am Rob McConnell, coming to you from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. If you'd like to send me an email, xzone@classic1220.ca. And you can always listen to the X Zone and the other great programming that is here on the Classic 1220 schedule just by going to classicradio.ca. And like I said, we're coming to you from the broadcast center and studios of your hometown radio in St. Catharines on Classic 1220. Wow, our guest tonight is, this hour, Devara ThunderBeat. And first of all, Devara, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
My goodness. So you and I were talking before we went to air, and I asked you about your name, and you told me that this is a name that you've had from a past life of over 500 years?
Yes, 500 years ago, I was Shawnee, Native American, and they said I had rhythm and timing with the elements, so they called me ThunderBeat, and I played drums for 20 years in rock bands, and I still play drums now, actually, of hand drumming and tribal stuff, and I said, that's my name, ThunderBeat.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, let's see. I'm a musician all my life, and I became a pioneer in sound healing like the early 90s, before even anybody even heard of sound healing. I actually did my own research. I was very fascinated with how each key would affect the person's emotions or body, and so that's why I did research for years on that. So I have many, like 5 sound healing CDs out now, and actually number 1 as my chakra journey is number 1 in the country, and with Hemisync Monroe Institute is chakra journey is their number 1. I'm their number 1 sound healing artist, and I do video, and I do 22 DNA activations. For healing, and that helps you remember who you are and why you are here. And I have 4 books out. I'm an author. I never thought I was going to write a book as being a musician, but it started happening. And my first one was a drumming book. And then I worked on Chakra Journey book, a chakra book, and a book about my ET encounters since the age of 4. That's a whole nother subject there. That's huge. And I have a book called Sedona, Faces in the Rocks. That's where I'm from, Sedona, Arizona. And Sedona and the Faces in the Rocks, I have found ancient Egypt here in Sedona, Arizona, in the Red Rocks. 14 major gods and goddesses. And I'm working on a documentary about that now.
Yeah, so actually, years ago, I had a guest on who found and he cataloged the Egyptian artifacts that he found in the Grand Canyon.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Yes, I have a write-up in my book about the Grand Canyon, finding the ancient Egyptian artifacts there, and they found hieroglyphs and artifacts in Phoenix, which is 2 hours south of here. And in Lake Powell, 3 hours north of here, they have found hieroglyphs of ancient Egyptian. But the point is, it's all surrounded all around Sedona. It's here in North America.
Why do you think Sedona is so important to the New Age culture?
Well, they have a lot of high energy here. It's very high vibe, you could say. Lots of vortexes, which people don't know sometimes what vortexes are. They're actually considered stargates. So a lot of activity here.
Tell us about your encounters with ETs that apparently started with you at the age of 4.
Right. Okay, well, let's see. 4, there's a lot of stories there, but age 4, I was playing in the driveway. I'm from upstate New York, and it was broad daylight. I was playing, and I call it a ship, came over. It was a UFO, whatever, and it was cloaked in a cloud, and it pulled me up into the ship. And while it was pulling me up into the ship, my mother ran out of the house trying to catch me, and they pulled her up too. That's where the journey began. They brought me back, and I didn't remember everything, but I remember coming back and I was floating in midair, and I was coming down to the driveway, and as soon as I hit the driveway, my cat was there and jumped 10 feet in the air, and so I must have came out of nowhere, kind of like, or invisible. I don't know how that works, but I did have a missing time, I call it. I didn't remember a lot of the encounters until I got a session with Dolores Cannon. And that was in like 2006, 2005, to find out a lot of my missing time encounters, which is, like I said, lots of missing time I had throughout my whole life. And I found out it was really my star family. They're benevolent, loving beings, and there's no grays involved, no reptilians involved. They're all actually look like bird beings with feathers for hair, but they look human. Their eyes are different. They're kind of triangle-shaped eyes, and they're just pure love. And they contacted me first. They told me because to remind me of my mission.
What is your mission?
Well, it's to help humanity and working with sound, color, light, sound frequencies for healing and raising your vibration. Helps you go into the 5D. That's what's happening now for everybody, getting up to the higher levels of frequencies of awareness, I'm going to say. And so that's one of them. I do conferences. It's all about waking up,
Has this been going on for a long time? And if so, how come we haven't woken up yet?
Well, that's a long story because a lot of times don't like to talk about the dark side, but they really hold us down. The major programming, the school system, the media that is not telling us the truth. Okay, so that's all slowing us down. Just right there, just those couple subjects right there is slowing us down. We're kind of like we're in the matrix of a program.
Yeah.
And they don't like allow us to have a lot of information. They hide a lot of information from us. So we're finally people are finally waking up. I mean, the situations what are happening, they're being shaken by the COVID actually is like a little backfire on them because that woke a lot of people up after that.
When you say them, who are you talking about?
Woke up a lot of people. You mean them? When I talk about them, it's kind of the dark side.
So are you talking about the government here or demonic?
Deep state. How's that? The deep state, they could cover all kinds of stuff there.
How do you know there actually is a deep state?
Oh yeah, it's because I've experienced them. They've attacked me.
How?
Microwave energy weapons.
Have you reported this to any authority that you've been under attack?
Yes.
What have they done?
They said I need physical proof, and I've done some videos, and they said, oh, well, that just looks like a flashlight, and they didn't support me at all.
So you've got the ETs and you've got the dark state. Is this basically a spiritual tug of war?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. Tug of war. It's a battle going on.
When did
Yeah.
this battle start?
Well, I would say thousands of years ago. It's not something new.
Mhm.
Remember we got the Dark Ages, and then um, the what was that time? Oh gosh, in England, would they had these these people coming in with like they look like fog machines, and then everybody got sick, so they were spraying back then. That was like the 1600s. Yeah, it's kind of like a shift where I hear the earth goes to the golden light, then it comes back to the dark, then it goes to the light, and then it goes to the dark. And I'm not sure how long that is because I haven't been here in this lifetime that long, but they say thousands of years. But we are coming into the golden age right now. It's shifting. So the dark side is trying the best they can, or they're trying everything they can to try to stop it, which is impossible because it's impossible, inevitable. It's going to happen, the golden age. So that's the good news.
What's the bad news?
That they're gonna keep fighting till I guess till whenever till something stops them.
So are we talking about negative forces? Are we talking about demonic spirits?
Yes, all of the above.
Okay.
We got negative ETs, very demonic spirits going on. They use black magic. They don't even call it black magic. They call it just energy. They can maneuver energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they use the weapons, like I said, microwave
Yeah.
weapons. And they let's see. Yeah, they just maneuver energy like they actually put spells on you, and they're attacking a lot of light workers, not just me. A lot. I've been hearing about it, especially in the last year. People are finally talking about it.
All right, we've got to take our break. Please stand by. And Exo Nation, our guest this hour is Devara. Did I say it right? Devara?
No, Devara.
Devara.
Think of Deborah.
Okay. Devara ThunderBeat is our guest this hour. And we'll be back talking about UFOs. It's, the strange, the wonderful, the bizarre. Because the more stranger things that are out there, the more bizarre it seems to get. Follow my drift. I'm Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone. We'll be back on the other side of this break as we continue right here in the X Zone from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada on Classic 1220 and streamed on classic1220.ca. And welcome back, everyone. This is the X Zone. Devara's ThunderBeat is our special guest. And I'd just like to get back to that story about your UFO encounter and when you were abducted. Was that the only time that it happened?
No, that was the first time. And then about 20 years later, I'd say, I had another encounter that I remember. It was very strange. I was at a UFO conference in Gulf Breeze, Florida, and I met this man, and I said, "Oh my God, I know you. Where do I know you from?" He was very familiar, and during that time, I was living in Florida at that time, and I would go to the beach too, and I would have missing time. like, it's always seemed to be 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, and didn't know what happened. I remember, going, what happened when I came back to the beach? But then I got regressed by Dolores Cannon, so I found out what there. But the UFO conference, it was this guy. He goes, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He invites me over to his house with his mother, and he tells me it's only 30 minutes away. So, and he gave me directions. So I started driving. I left at 9 o'clock. I didn't get there. He said it's only 30 minutes, like I said, because I didn't get there till 12 midnight, 3 hours later. But I remember that because I was like driving and I couldn't find the road he's talking about. There was just one road. There's no place to turn where he told me to turn. He said to go over the bridge. I'd never found a bridge. I was on the right road, and I looked up. It was the evening. I looked up at the street lights, and there's no poles. There were just lights like hovering there, and I'm like, well, okay, this is getting very strange. And then all of a sudden, the road started repeating itself. It's same curve, same tree, same curve, same tree. I'm like going, what is going on here? This is crazy. So then there was not even any houses anywhere. It was just driving in the countryside, no buildings, no houses. Then all of a sudden, a restaurant appeared, and there was a payphone. This was back like in 93 or 4, something like that. And I said, oh, well, let me call him on the payphone, right? Because my cell phone, I had a cell phone, didn't work. So I tried the payphone, and the payphone didn't work. Now there's a sign that said open on the restaurant, had a big parking lot, but not any cars were in the parking lot, okay? So I walked in to the building and in the restaurant, and the place is packed. I'm going, okay, this is getting very strange. I felt like I was in Twilight Zone, the movie or series, and I'm going, okay. And then there was these two guys talking, and the place was packed, like I said, and they were talking about quantum physics, and I'm going, okay. And then I said, well, and I asked the bartender, I said, there was a bar there in a restaurant. And I said, is the bridge, which way is the bridge? And they all pointed back, go back to where you came, which way I came. And I'm just like, really? And so I walked out, and one of the guys goes, do you think she knows where she is? And I'm thinking, no, I don't know where I am. That's why I asked directions. Well, he did not mean that. So I go back to which way I came, and I found the bridge like immediately. I think I could not have missed the bridge. It was a half a mile long. And then there's the street. So I get down there, and I take the street, and I get to his house, and he comes outside, and he goes, okay, come on in. You've been through a lot, he says to me. And I'm like going, okay. I go, I'm sorry, I'm late. So I get in there, and there's this couple in his house, and the couple were two people from the restaurant. I'm going, okay, this is getting stranger and stranger. Okay, so the lady was telling me then, long story short, the lady was talking to me, and she goes, oh, I'd like to invite you to our island. And I said, well, where's your island? I said, she goes, it's out there. And I said, well, what do you do on your island? She goes, we work. And I go, how many people are on your island? She goes, 5,000. And then she talked a little bit about it. And she goes, actually, we would like you to live there on our island. I said, what? I said, no, I have other plans for my life. And okay, so now during the regression, she was talking, I found out she's talking about her ship. They looked human, but they were talking about their ship when they said the island.
And this is according to Dolores Cannon.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then they showed me during the regression, I saw what happened. I was actually in a hologram That's why the road kept repeating. And I mean, this is the strangest thing that can't even like imagine like anything like it that I've ever heard. And what else happened? So when I saw the regression, I was actually in the ship, in the starcraft, and they were laying me down, and they actually were shining golden light onto me and giving me a healing. And I used to smoke cigarettes back then. They did a healing on my lungs, and all the people in the restaurant were there, and they were observing this being. Now the being was a praying mantis. Okay, very tall. I don't know, about 8 feet, 9 feet tall, and he had regular hands like fingers, but they were very long, and his thumb was as long as his like index finger. So he was doing a healing on me, and I was just looking around. I couldn't move, but it was a good thing. He didn't hurt me, and he didn't, he actually gave me a healing of my lungs. And so I found out later that I have met these people before. I just didn't remember. That's why the guy Jim looked familiar to me. He goes, yeah, and I found out later they're from Andromeda.
So why are they here? I understand that you said that there was a battle between good and evil, and these guys are part of the good team. But how long have they been here?
Oh, a long time. I'm not sure how long they've been here. But I will tell you, they're here helping. They are here helping. They're doing, okay, the Syrians have told me that they are here. They dismantle the nuclear weapons. They are ones that are doing that. There's other groups also, and that is because they don't want us to blow up the planet. Now, the military thinks that, they're taking away our weapons and they're going to attack us. That's how they think, but it's not true at all. They're just making sure that we don't blow up our planet, like our planet that was called Meldeck in our asteroid belt, which is between Mars and Jupiter. There's an asteroid belt there. It was a planet called Meldeck.
And we know this how?
From the information that they download to me. So when it blew up, it was a red planet, and it actually dusted Mars. Mars was not originally red, and it was such a illuminated red planet that it dusted Mars and made the rings on Jupiter, the red rings on Jupiter. So NASA knows. They know a lot of information. They're just not telling us. There's all kinds of relics and information into that asteroid belt. I mean, yeah.
Okay, so you mean the ETs or the what did you call them? Praying mantis aliens download information to you?
Yeah, well, the Syrians did. I've met different groups.
Okay.
So the Syrians, yeah, really.
So why do you think you've been chosen to do this work?
Well, it's not chosen. I didn't know. They didn't choose me. I chose. And everybody that says, "Oh, they're chosen," no, they actually choose to help and volunteer for a mission. So they were reminding me my mission when the first time at 4 years old, they were reminding me, so it's basically I chose. So I guess I've worked for, not guess, I know I've worked with many star systems, and we're all here working together. So
now you were saying before that you've had lifetimes, I believe, for 500 years. Am I correct?
Well, more than that, yeah.
Okay.
But
I'm
yeah,
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What's the question?
So you've been here for 500 years and longer.
No, 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 no. I had a past life. I've had many past lives. Everyone has many past lives. They just don't remember.
Okay.
But the one that was 500 years ago was when they called me. I was Shawnee, Native American,
No,
and they called
no.
me.
All I'm getting at that the past life regressions that you've told us about so far tonight were about 500 years in time, right? Or am I wrong?
You're wrong. I mean, I've had more than. No, I've had more than. I remember past lives from 1500 years ago.
Really?
And like 1500 BC. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Holy cow! You're one of the original cave women.
But no.
No.
No. It was in Egypt, 1500 BC, and was my father was Tutmosis the First, and my sister was Hatshepsut, and my name was Neferari.
Well, we have to take our break now, and we'll be back in a few minutes as we continue this fascinating story here in the X Zone. I'm Rob McConnell, and you're listening to us right here from our studios. And yeah, that's my producer letting me know that I've got to get going on this one. You're listening to us right here on Classic 1220 and streamed around the world on classic1220.ca. Send me an email. Are you a skeptic or are you a believer? You know what the topics are, X Zone Nation. Email address is xzone@classic1220.ca. Don't go away.
Each day I live, I want to be a day.
Welcome back, everyone. Devara ThunderBeat is our special guest this hour. Her website, thunderbeat.com. You know, you're telling us all these past life stories, and when you think about them, how does it make you feel that you've been around for so long and you must have accomplished a lot during your many lives? How do you feel?
Well, it's great. It took, many decades to remember a lot of this, and the Akashic Records readings with Lisa Barnett and Dolores Cannon, things like that has helped me remember. And I've had probably about 6 to 7 sessions, so that, and once you remember, like other memories start coming back. I have so many stories, and the stories are, to me, very magical, but they're all in my book, Look Up, My Encounters with ETs and Angels. And the reason I wrote that is because I like to talk about, and I need to talk about, and we need this information about the loving, benevolent ETs. All we hear about is the doom and gloom, and they're going to kill us and attack us.
I've never heard that. I've never heard that.
You've never heard?
No, everybody is saying that they've had pleasant experiences, that they've learned something, this, that, or the other thing. I think there may have been one or two who've talked about doom and gloom, but in general, everybody says that they're very peaceful.
Great. That's wonderful. Well, here in America, it's a little different, especially on TV.
Oh, well, TV, you can't believe anything on TV. Come on now.
Right? I agree. But, but puts people in fear that don't know better. So yes, they were loving, benevolent ETs, and I've met some of them even look pink. They look kind of like the shape of the Greys, but with the big eyes, but they were pink. So that's a whole different frequency. There was no darkness. Everybody's happy. And and they downloaded me information about the planet, and they said that they've been help cleaning up the planet also. They said if we didn't clean up the planet, they said the pollution was so bad, especially they said the 60s and 70s. They said if we didn't help clean up the planet, it would have been a dead planet. That's how bad the pollution is here. So they've been helping us in that way. They say that they can't help in certain ways because of our learning lessons that we have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
But we're just making sure that you don't destroy the planet.
Well, what about global warming? Aren't they concerned about that?
No, that's all a lie.
Oh, no. How do you know that? How do you know it's a lie?
Well, because what they're talking about, the global warming, if you listen to what the areas that they're focusing on is not, from the emissions or whatever. I mean, they know how to, I've heard they know how to clean it up instantly anyway, but they've been spraying the skies. Are you been seeing, I don't know if I spray in Canada.
No. Don't get me going on chemtrails.
Yes.
I think that's the biggest bunch of baloney that anybody has ever created. And if you want to talk about conspiracy theories, well, that's one of the woo-woo ones that
Okay, so you're in Canada, I'm in the United States, and they chemtrail.
Oh, no, hold on here. I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to get across is that over the years, I've talked about many things to many people, and the majority in the United States.
Okay.
You talk to scientists, and they tell you what a chemtrail is. It's a condensation trail.
No, that's a contrail, and it dissipates immediately.
Right. No, it doesn't. No. A contrail does not.
Okay, I know they got you lied to too.
Oh no! Hold on here.
I'm telling you, you're being lied to because I've talked to pilots. They say the same thing. They're brainwashed. I see the big X's in the sky. I get sick. People get sick, and they get tired when they start spraying. Trail after trail after trail. I live in a very sunny place. Mm-hmm. Very rare you see a lot of planes and hardly any trails from the planes. Mm-hmm. But then all of a sudden one day they just, for 3 hours start covering the whole sky.
What do you think they're doing?
Well, they have a lot of stuff. I think they put viruses in there. That's why that virus, the COVID, spread so fast around the world. Mm-hmm. And they do a lot of I've been watching them since 1995. Okay, I've been really paying attention. Mm-hmm. They spray in the spring, they spray in the fall. Oh, we got sinuses in the spring and we got flu in the fall. Okay, why? Chemtrails.
That's a theory, unproven.
Yeah, well, I have a naturopath doctor that took some samples, and he found barium, aluminum, mm-hmm. A whole list of toxic chemicals in those chemtrails that are not in the jet fuel.
Okay, so how did he get the samples?
You got to ask him. He knows how to do that. So.
Okay. So with all your influence with extraterrestrials, can't they do anything to help the planet? Like, we're in one hell of a mess here. We've got people who are hungry. We've got disease. We have insecurity within our political, social circles. Why don't they just land and get it over with?
Well, it's a free will zone. That's what they call it. Okay. The Earth is a free will zone, so they can't just come in here and just do anything. That's like a very karmic situation. So, like the dark side doesn't care about that. They'll do whatever they want. Mm-hmm. They don't care. They don't believe in karma, but they get their rituals. So, when you do meditations and your prayer and you ask for help, they can come in and they can help us then if you ask. So, there has been times where miracles have happened because there's major like meditations around the world. What kind
of miracles?
Well, basically, like cleaning up the water and the air, like I said, and a certain kind of raising the frequency of the planet, which is much better. That a lot of that happening. I mean, it's in a scale that people are usually can't see
I
or
see.
aware of.
So where do angels fall into all this?
Well, I consider them ETs too, but their purpose and their mission is pretty much they are surrounding the planet. They're closer. They're like right here paying attention. And you have to ask them too for help. They don't just come in volunteer unless it's something extreme, emergency of some sort. But you're gonna have to ask them for help. It's like you pray, or you ask and I'm not trying to get religious, but you ask and you shall receive. So they're there to help. So
how does one's religious philosophy fall into the way that you communicate with ETs, the way that you communicate with angels, and all the past lives that you've had?
what's the question? I'm sorry. What was the first part of that?
Oh, did it? Okay. How does your religious philosophy, your beliefs, work when it comes into?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. At 5 years old, I'm going to tell you the story with my father was Roman Catholic,
Okay.
and my mother was Native American, and my father would say, "Take your daughter to church," and he would not go. So the Roman Catholic Church, and she didn't want to go either. But so at 5, I remember the second time being there, I said, Mom, all they want here is money. So it was kind of like I felt like now looking back at that, I feel like I was pretty awake. I'm very spiritual, but I don't follow any religion. I follow, actually, you have pretty much all the answers inside, like doing meditation and just opening your heart.
I'm sorry, I don't understand when you said all they want is money.
Well, everything was in Latin,
Okay.
and the only thing in English was was when they put the baskets around these with the long poles. They had these baskets going, okay, now you can donate, now you can donate, now you can donate. It was the only thing in English, and I'm looking around going, and they're speaking in Latin the whole hour sermon, and I'm looking around, I go, does anybody even know what they're saying? No one knew what they were saying. I asked people, I said, what are they saying? What were they saying? I didn't understand what they're saying. They go, I don't know.
Wow.
So yeah, so my mom never brought me back again. She didn't want to go. And I've done a lot of learning of the Native American teachings. It's more about nature and hearing from Mother Earth.
Where teachings from where?
From Choctaw. I'm half Choctaw.
Oh, I see. So when you talk to these aliens, this intrigues me, because I can't imagine looking at an 8-foot praying mantis and saying, "You're an alien? You came from another planet looking like that?"
No, I've never gotten fear. A lot of people go in fear, and then let's say if they have encounters, they go in fear. That's a negative encounter because of their fear. So, but when I was looking up at him, he looked very tall. That's all I remember. But he was very gentle, and his energy was very gentle. And when you communicate with each other, it's mental telepathy. It's telepathically.
So they would communicate with you telepathically?
Yes.
In English?
Yes. I don't know how that works, but I heard that when you speak mind to mind, it's kind of like a translation somehow.
Quick question for you,
English,
because
yeah.
I've got to get ready for my break here. If you hadn't gone to Dolores Cannon, who's known for doing past life regressions and discovering all these hidden, repressed memories, past lives, and alien encounters, do you think that you'd have the what's the word I'm looking for here? the ideas that you have today, that you have been in fact regressed and you've had past lives? Or do you think that this would be unknown to you?
Yeah, the regressions definitely helped me. I mean, it was bothering me all my life for
okay.
20,
I'm
30
sorry, I've got to
years.
take my break. Please stand by, and X Zone Nation will return as we wrap up this hour here in the X Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. And you're listening to us on your hometown radio, Classic 1220.
Each day I live, I want to be a day to give the best of. Close your eyes, give me your hand, darling. Do you feel my heart beating? Do you understand? Do you feel the same? Or am I only dreaming? Is this...
And welcome back, everyone. Devara ThunderBeat is our special guest. Her website is thunderbeat.com. How do you deal with skepticism? Because a lot of what you're saying, I don't imagine resonates true with a lot of people.
Well, it does. I don't get ridiculed very often.
Mm-hmm.
But when I do, it's just like, okay, well, they don't, but it's your choice not to believe. I don't care. I don't
Right.
take it personal. I'm not going to take it personal.
But why
Simple
wouldn't
as that.
But why wouldn't these ETs give those who are believers something to show, or something to validate what people like you are saying, instead of just leaving you guys in the dark?
Like what? Like what, for example?
Well, you have no proof of anything you're saying here. Once again, it's all depends on belief. You've had the
Right.
experience, the listeners haven't. And I think this is one of the biggest problems we have when it comes to UFO, spirituality, angels, and so on, is that there's never any physical evidence to substantiate the claims.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you said
Well-
before that you went to church and all they wanted was money. I've gone to many of these exhibitions where New Age spiritualism, UFOs, aliens, all these people have these little booths, and all they want is money. So what's the difference?
Well, the point was that everything was not in a language anybody knew or understood. So that was very strange to me.
So why did they
So-
go then if they didn't understand it?
No one understood it.
But why did they go
I
then?
asked a lot of people, and they were just going along with the program. So, point is, the reason I named my book "Look Up"
Mm-hmm.
is because people, when you look up to the sky, you take about a good 30, 40 minutes, not 5 minutes, not 2 minutes. If you look up and watch the sky for 30 to 40 minutes, I guarantee you'll see something. And the reason that, like I said, I called it "Look Up" because like all my friends said, "How come you see so many ships, ThunderBeat?"
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Look up." People are not looking up. People, if you see people, they look at their phones. They're looking down at the ground. They don't look up very often. I'm constantly looking up, and I see them in the daytime and the nighttime.
But what about these people who are professional sky watchers who do not see what you see? The junior astronomers who scan the skies, they don't see what you see.
I don't know why, unless they're not telling you. But we have here in Sedona 3 or 4 companies that do night vision military goggles.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been to like 3 or 4 of them, and you will be blown away of the things that you see through those things. And they're not planes, because you can see planes with your eyes, and they're not planes. You can't see them without the goggles. These objects, and sometimes they go in 3 or 4 together, and you'll see. I guarantee you'll see 30 to 40 in 1 hour with the goggles, and they're all over the place. I know Sedona is known for being more active here, UFOs active, I've actually got pictures of ships that have taken here. I do have proof there.
What do they look like, these ships?
They're all different. One was very golden, like a golden ship, and it looks flying saucer-ish, but it was gold. And I do have pictures of that, and actually they're in my book. The other ones were silver. There were different shapes. They had one was very interesting. One had wings, but the wings were on backwards, and they were going forwards. I go, what is that? And then I saw one that was a triangle ship. Actually, not one. I've saw many triangle ships, at least 3 or 4 of them in my lifetime.
When it comes to night vision glasses, I've been told by many people in the military as well as law enforcement that using night goggle visions glasses, you see a lot of bugs at nighttime that you don't see during the day because of the heat signature. So
yep, you can see bugs with the goggles too, and the bugs are right there in front of you. These, when you look at them, you can see the mountains and the balls of light around the mountains.
So why, help me understand why somebody like you, who's lived many lifetimes, has these encounters with these different types of aliens, with the different types of angels. Why you, and not, let's say, my neighbor down the hall or the kid who lives across the street? Why you?
Because I chose the mission to help humanity. The angels have helped me even create some of my music. Archangel Gabriel's helped me create actually my Chakra Journey CD, and I put it 2 and 2 together. He is a musician. Gabriel, come blow your horn, okay? He's a horn player. He knows sounds and frequencies. So the angels have helped me develop a lot of my music, and even helped me write books. They're pretty amazing.
Well, let me ask you this question. And what would you be doing if you didn't have angels and ETs in your life?
Well, I think I'd probably be doing the same thing. That's my passion, is music. I started at 15 years old playing a full drum set.
Wow.
And playing in rock bands and stuff like that. So I've always been into music. And then I went solo in 2000, and I started doing tribal world music, because I was traveling around the world to Egypt and the Mayan lands and all these sacred sites. And I'd come home immediately and write a CD from the energy of that place. So that's what I do, period.
So if somebody wanted to follow your footsteps, how would they do that?
Follow my footsteps?
Yeah, if they're listening tonight and they're thinking, hey, wait a minute, I want to learn. I want to see spaceships all over the place. I want to talk to angels. I want Gabriel to help me with my music. How would they do that?
Actually, I do a 22 DNA golden light code activation that helps you enhance your awareness. It helps you remember who you are and why you are here. You start it's a lifetime activation. I can do them over the internet. You can go online to my website and see all the information, because it would probably take me about a half hour to go through all the information of what that session does. It's just it's definitely life-changing, and it just helps you remember who you are, because it activates your dormant DNA. And all our knowledge and all our past lives and all our memory is in our DNA.
And who taught you how to do this?
It was the Galactic Light Center in Tucson, Arizona. A lady, 84 years old, initiated me and trained me, and she's been doing this work for 60 years. And she told me where it comes from. It comes from the Enoch, the book of Enoch, the knowledge in there. There's something in there that she said that it comes from the keys and book of Enoch. And so that is basically they took that out of the Bible. They didn't want anybody to know that information. So she said it's all related to that. And she's been doing this work, like I said, for over 50 years, and she trained me and initiated me. So.
And how much does it cost to get all of your DNA turned on?
Okay. Well, like I said, it's a lifetime activation. You only need that, and it's $272.
$272.
Correct.
Okay. And how is it? Do a lot of people come and have you activate them?
Oh yeah, I've done over 1,000 sessions, and I can do them over the internet, and it takes about an hour. That's all. And I can either do it in person if you're here in Sedona, or I can do it through, like I said, the internet.
That's quite a bit of money.
Oh no, a lot of people even say, "Why are you so cheap?"
No, I mean you're making a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Do you declare it on taxes?
Absolutely.
Good girl. Good girl. So what's next for you? Are you still going to be communicating with the ETs and
Oh,
angels?
I don't know about that. They come in here and there, but my next project is Cosmic Awakening. It's a conference, Sedona Cosmic Awakening. I'm going to be putting that together, and that's going to be in October of this year in Sedona, Arizona. And if you haven't been to Sedona, Arizona, it is breathtaking. It's gorgeous here. The red rocks are just amazing. And I'm working on a documentary on my book, Faces in the Rocks and Finding Ancient Egypt in Sedona, Arizona. I have the pictures for proof.
Well, all right. Is there any? We've got about 2 minutes left, my producer said. Is there anything you'd like to share with our audience tonight?
Yes, definitely keep the faith, and think positive, because things are manifesting very quickly now. The frequencies are raising. So thoughts are things. And what I mean is, so think positive, and positive things will happen to you. If you think negative, then negative things will happen. So you're manifesting that. So I do want to say that for everybody to help them out.
How would people know the difference between a sincere person and a snake oil person?
They have to go into their heart and use discernment and go into their heart. So the heart, you can't lie to the heart. That's what I feel.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. And wow. Everybody in this industry of angels, UFOs, aliens, they all have a hook on making money. $272 US for a bunch of phooey? I'm in the wrong business. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give this lady 2 at the most when it comes to credibility. Well, you know what? She proved one thing here with us tonight, Exo Nation. She plays the drum, so she beat it. Get it? Plays the drum and beat it. Well, that's it for tonight, Exo Nation. I'll be back tomorrow night at the same time as, once again, we start investigating the paranormal and the science of parapsychology. And we're also looking for answers, but demanding the truth. Send me your email, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, as well as our station email address, xzone@classic1220.ca. So from everyone here at the X Zone and Classic 1220, just do me one little favor. Take care of your child. Give them a hug. Let them know they're loved. And also, keep your eyes to the sky and your heart to the light. My name's Rob McConnell. Good night, everyone.